But why do people say things like upset or angry? When someone says how they feel, they're not always upset or angry.
Well, what were you feeling?
I felt like I wanted to punch him in his face.
Pop today. Nicki Minaj is the undisputed queen of controversy and always seems to generate headlines whatever she does, from the beefs
Did Nicki Minaj just take a jab at fellow rapper Iggy Azalea?
to the altercations,
A celebrity brawl during Fashion Week.
to the downright outrageous.
Nicki Minaj has no time for Miley Cyrus bringing up her new music.
Here are Nicki Minaj's wildest moments caught on camera flashing on Megatron set at the 2014 VMAs. All of the spotlight was on Nicki Minaj, but it wasn't for reasons that she would have wanted. Nicki was performing with other stars such as Ariana Grande and Jessie J and was set to join them on stage. But Nicki was already wearing her Anaconda outfit, and this did not go well with what Ariana and Jessie were wearing, so Nicki changed clothes quickly before returning to the stage. However, things didn't go as planned, as Nicki recalled on Ellen interview.
I was like, I had to put on a black dress really quickly. And sure enough, we didn't have like a real quick change right there. So it was literally my whole team just standing there holding curtains around me, and it was pitch black. I couldn't see anything. And right before it was time for me to walk out, they went to zip it up, and right there, I thought I died.
Nicki could be seen clinging onto her clothes for dear life had the dress fallen down. Nicki would have been laid bare in her birthday suit in front of thousands of people.
I didn't have any underwear on, like no underwear, no bra, because I had just taken off the Anaconda outfit. So I was butt-ass naked.
So Nicki had to do a number of things at the same time. She had to walk on stage, perform, and then someone keep all of your clothing back up on her. Nicki escaped a wardrobe malfunctioned by the skin of her teeth, but in 2018, at the Made in America festival in Philadelphia, she would not be so lucky. Her outfit was too tight, and there were numerous nip slips throughout her performance. On a video on Twitter, she joked, "You know what? Let's go at it. They all saw my nipples at least 50 times tonight." And in 2022, something similar would happen again. Except this time around, she was not in front of her fans, but at the New York Met Gala. She was wearing a black gown designed by Burberry's Riccardo Tisci, and the gown sadly did not have the right cup side, so her boobs kept popping out again. But in true Nicki fashion, she did not seem embarrassed by what happened. In fact, she joked, "Enjoy these because you won't ever see them again." These wardrobe malfunctions caused some controversy, but nowhere near as much about what I'm going to talk about next. Exorcism Grammy performance at the 2012 Grammys. The stage was set for Nicki to make a transition in her career year. She was seen mainly as a rapper, but was desperately seeking to be seen among pop artists like Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, and Beyoncé. She wanted her performance to be memorable, but this was memorable in both good and bad ways. During this performance, she is clearly paying homage to Madonna, an artist who used a lot of Christian imagery in her song, Like a Prayer. The performance starts with her in the confession booth and is rapping to a Catholic priest. Then it jumps to the big screen where the same priest is performing an exorcism in a family home. The mother is worried about her child being possessed, and the daughter is Nicki. She climbs onto the ceiling, and the priest asked her name, to which she replies Roman, which is one of Nicki's alter egos. We then cut back to the stage where Nicki is singing in her mock English accent while she is chained to a wall. She then raps while monks dressed in robes start dancing. She is suddenly free from her hackles, so she walks downstairs and performs. Then a choir sings, "Come all ye faithful." The priest at the confession comes out and is now wearing robes. He is now performing an exorcism on Nicki. Nicki is lifted into the sky, and the unfortunate close-up shows the strings being used to hoist Nicki up. As you can imagine, the song drew controversy from religious groups. The Catholic League released a statement that said perhaps the most vulgar part was the sexual statement that showed a scantily clad female dancer stretching backwards, while an altar boy knelt between her legs in prayer. Finally, "Come all ye faithful" was sung. While a man posing as a bishop walked on stage, Minaj was shown levitating the statement. Went on to say none of this was by accident, and all of it was approved by the Recording Academy, which puts on the Grammys. Whether Minaj is possessed is surely an open question, but what is not in doubt is the irresponsibility of the Recording Academy. Never would they allow an artist to insult Judaism or Islam. The creative director of the performance has since come out and defended performance and said there were no crosses, there were no religious symbols. We made sure we were very respectable. The bishop was a symbolic figurehead. He was not intended in a negative light, but in a position of authority, and it's important to note that Nicki is a Christian and was not intending to mock her faith. The director said as far as the theatrical matic performance, it's entertainment. If you are going to rise up about a performance that is not literal or harming from two people that are believers, then we need to see that anger being used to make a change. It was one of Nicki's earliest brushes with controversy, and there were many of these yet to come kissing Meek Mill Nicki. And Meek Mill had quite a complicated relationship, to say the very least. In the beginning, Meek did not hold back when expressing his interest in Nicki, even tweeted in 2010. #Megalis 2, get it Nicki Minaj before somebody else do. The thirst tweets continue, and by 2013, Nicki was asked to feature on one of Meek Mill's tracks for his Dream Chasers 3 mixtape, and Meek probably had ulterior motives in mind, but by December 2014, Nicki would insist that they were friends.
So is it going down or not?
We're friends. We're friends. He's dope. Shout out.
However, it wasn't long before the thing that everyone speculated about was finally out in the open. A month later, this selfie appeared on Nicki's Instagram. Then a selfie appeared of Meek giving Nicki a kiss. Then, when Nicki announced her pink print tour in 2015, Meek Mill was coincidentally a supporting act. This led to many times when they were performing on stage, and often at times things got a little frisky. Love between the two was very much out in the open. Meek bought her a diamond ring, leading many people to believe that he had put a ring on it. However, this turned out to not be true, but there may be another reason why their relationship was so public. Nicki was receiving an email from her ex-boyfriend and rapper Safaris, Scaff Beezy Samuels, who was asking for unpaid royalties. Perhaps Nicki was trying to make him jealous too. Nicki tweeted, "My man asked him to stop emailing me. I also asked him several times. This man can't move on. It's really sad. I have the emails." To prove it, and clearly things weren't going well between Nicki and Meek either. An insider told E! News they were fighting on and off for a little while about a few topics that upset Nicki. They had a bigger fight and then called it quits there. Have also been allegations that Meek Mill was abusive to her as well, and in January 2017, Nicki went on to Twitter to confirm that she was now single, to confirm, "Yes, I am single, focusing on my work, and looking forward to sharing it with you guys. Really soon. Have a blessed New Year. Love you." In the 2018 song Barbie Dream, she raps, "Meek still be in my DMs, I'll be having to duck him." And while rapping that line live, once she said, "I could tell you secrets, but I won't, because being a bitter is what I don't brawl with Cardi B." Cardi B once idolized Nicki, and the two of them could have been the best of friends. But somewhere along the way, these two fell out, and there was only room for one queen bee at New York Fashion. Both artists were invited, and both of them dressed to impress. There are disputed stories about what happened. Apparently, Nicki stepped on Cardi's dress and then said something about Cardi's daughter. We do have footage of Cardi shouting, "This was New York Fashion Week," so security were quick to distance the two and prevent this fight from escalating. Security was holding back Nicki, and security was holding back Cardi. Eventually, Cardi took out her shoe and threw it in Nicki's direction. Cardi, who was now Cinderella with one shoe, left New York Fashion Week with this nasty scar above her eye, so things had gotten pretty ugly. The biggest question on everyone's lips afterward was, why? Without mentioning Nicki, Cardi posted on Instagram, "I've let a lot of slide, I let you sneak. Diss me, I let you lie on me, I let you attempt to stop my bags, cup the way I eat, you threaten other artists in the industry, told them if they work with me, you'll stop with them, I'll let you talk big about me." Cardi's sister also said she mentions my sister all the time when she gets on radio. She likes shady comments about my sister constantly. Her two bimbo friends go on live and talk about my sister all the time on their fake-ass podcast with 500 viewers. But I can't say nothing, for that's my family. You can buy these comments. Force Nicki to respond, who said, "You're not controlling your family when there's thing I'm on stage looking like a crackhead. Are we going to be civilized and mature and tell everyone around us to relax or not yesterday," or whatever the sister was? Just saying some more really rude things about me lies, so should I just not defend myself ever? And specifically on the incident at New York Fashion Week, she said, "There's no way I can lie about it because I guarantee that there's surveillance footage. In the building where the assault took place, I had my cameraman there, and the bruise above Cardi's eye may have come from Nicki's friend Raw Alley." Nicki said, "Raw Alley really beat Cardi's ass. Bad, like really bad. You went home and told people that security hit you, and we let that lie. Continue because of legal reasons, I told Raw. Don't tell anyone you hit her because I don't want nobody trying to sue me. They all come to the person with money. I guess you had to look like a gangster. In front of your friends, I get it, Raw. Beats you so bad that I was mad at Raw. Raw didn't like her attitude the way she came at me. I told Raw she didn't put her hands on me. But Raw was like, I couldn't take that chance clearly." Nicki and her friends. And not to be messed with moment with Drake. While Meek Mill and Nicki were officially an item, there have been rumors and speculation that she has been involved with Drake. Drake made it no secret that he wanted to date Nicki on the song Miss Me. Drake raps, I love Nicki Minaj. I told her I'd admit it. I hope one day we get married just to say we did it. And girl, I'm acting serious. I'm with it if you with it. Because your verses turn me on and your pants are mighty fitted in 2010. Nicki performed for the Hot 97 Thanksgiving Thank You concert, and she brought Drake on stage. The two apparently shared a kiss, and Nicki told the audience, "I still got my lipstick on. I know you New York don't be starting something." Drake has since said his affection for Nicki is one-sided. He said, "I saw Nicki for the first time and literally fell in love. I've always really had a crush on her. Always really loved her. And she's always just looked at me as her little brother Drake even." Jokingly tweeted that they were married and tweeted please refer to Nicki Minaj as Mrs. Aubrey Drake Graham. And don't stare at her too long, she's finally mine. Nicki jokingly responded with yes. "It's true, Drake and I tied the knot." Nicki clarified things and said in an interview, obviously Drake and we've played around so much with the whole marriage thing and stuff like that, so people have come to be kind of intrigued about us. But then Drake said he was serious and said, "I don't know. If we were really pretending I'd marry Nicki, I think Nicki would be one of the only people that would understand me at the end of all of this and be able to love me by 2013. Drake was a superstar, and Nicki was actually quite annoyed that Drake did not have any features from Young Money, the label Drake started with on this album. Nicki said in an interview, "Young Money, till the death of me. Drake can do what Drake do, but Nicki Minaj is a whole different person. I think your team is. Your team who gives about trying to be different. I'm always going to want my team to be a part of my project no matter what in some way." But in 2014, they were friends once again and even looked to be friends with benefit. Drake was no longer dating Rihanna and was once again a single man. And at Hot 97 Summer Jam, things got a little hot and heavy. There seems to be some good chemistry between the two on stage, but Drake takes it to another level by lifting her up on stage. Drake would later get a lap dance for the Anaconda video too, but ultimately it looks like Nicki and Drake continue to be friends, but sadly for Drake, without benefits. Miley Cyrus call out. One of Nicki's most infamous moments was when she called out Miley Cyrus. Although it seemed to come out of nowhere, there was actually a lot of tension brewing between the two. On Halloween 2012, Miley posted a photo of herself on Twitter dressed as Nicki with a blonde wig and butt pads. She even directly called her a stupid on Twitter. Then in the 2013 interview with Billboard, Cyrus either intentionally or unintentionally added fuel to the fire by saying, "A lot of people wanted to try to make me the white Nicki Minaj. That's not what I'm trying to do. I love hood music. My talent is as a singer." Both artists shared a mutual producer, Mike Will made it, who tried to get them in the studio together, but no songs ever surfaced. And Nicki said there was a song that was a possibility, but it didn't work. Out a song that did get released is Anaconda, one of Nicki's most celebrated tracks. And bizarrely, Cyrus decided to Photoshop herself as Nicki in the Anaconda video. She then made it her Twitter profile photo. Nicki finally took the bait and said, "Give me one good reason why Miley made this her Twitter avi in 2014. The video for Anaconda performs better than Miley's breakthrough single Wrecking Ball on YouTube. And given that the song was more popular, Nicki was slightly irked at not being nominated for Video of the Year category for her song at the 2015 Video Music Awards."
Winner, the VMA goes to Miley Cyrus.
He felt that there was a racial aspect as to why she was not selected for this award.
And now, back to this bitch that had a lot to say about me the other day in the press. Miley, what's good?
Miley responded with,
"Hey, we're all in this industry. We all do interviews, and we all know how they manipulate. Nicki, congratulations."
Nicki did an interview with the New York Times afterward. Explaining her beef, she said, "I saw Cyrus just looking at me with her face screwed up, and I thought, what the Nicki?" Went on to say, "The fact that you feel upset about me speaking on something that affects black women makes me feel like you have some big balls. You're in videos with black men and you're bringing out black women on your stages, but you don't want to know how black women feel about something that's so important." She continued by saying, "Come on, you can't want the good without the bad. If you want to enjoy our culture and our lifestyle, bond with us, dance with us, have fun with us, twerk with us, rap with us, then you should also want to know what affects us, what is bothering us, what we feel is unfair. To us, you should not want to know that." And Miley is not the only female artist that Nicki was alleged to be beefing with the No Shade BET Award speech in 2014. Nicki accepted the award for Best Female Hip-Hop Artist. At the BET Award, the award was presented by Floyd Mayweather, and Lil Wayne jokingly escorted her up onto the podium. Nicki started off her speech quite humble and said,
This is
winning this award. And thank you.
She then got into how important her position is as a prominent female rapper.